You have to decide actively to turn the page and change your story. Hello, welcome to Authentically Aligned, a wellness podcast where we speak on all things wellness, from fitness and nutrition to meditation and mindfulness, healing, growth, self-help, and so much more. If you are a new listener, welcome to the podcast. And if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for your love and support. And I want you to know that I'm sending you that same love and support right back. It's been a minute, but we're back. And today I am here to talk about something that is imperative to your life. Just the other day, I was with a client, and this client gave me a little bit of a challenge. And unfortunately, I wanted more for this client than this client wanted for themselves. And it was really put into perspective to me the importance of mindset. And mindset is something that I talk about so often. Mindset is something that I am always sharing about in one way or another. But in this instance, it really hit me because we can get so stuck in our mind that we have no other choice, that we have no other option. And I think that so many people get stuck in their mind because they feel like they have no other option. They have no other choice. They're stuck in the rat race. They're stuck in these circumstances of their life. They don't believe that better exists. They don't believe that they deserve better. And in working with this client, as much as I know that your mindset is everything, this specific situation really put things into perspective for me. And the idea that you can say that you want to change, but are you willing to battle your mind? Are you willing to do the hard things in order to elevate, in order to grow, in order to change your life, in order to change your circumstances? Everything that you tell yourself is true. And when you start to recognize that and you start to understand that, you start to become so cautious of the things that you tell yourself, of the things that you listen to inside of your mind, and recognizing the power of your word, the power of your tongue, and the power of manifestation, whether it be positive or negative. You know, it is so interesting to me because there is such an abundance of material on mindset today. But mindset is not something that is trending. It's not something that is going to be popular now and not going to be popular later. It's not a fad. It's not something that ever really goes away, although maybe the topic of conversation comes and goes. But your mindset is the root of your life. It is the root of your existence. It is the root of your being. And when you are able to master your mindset and your mentality and the way that you think about life and the way that you show up in your life, you ultimately are able to create the life that you desire. Your mindset is the foundation for everything that you experience. So this episode is for anybody who is feeling like they're stuck, for anybody who is feeling like they're going in circles and taking all of the right action, but not seeming to see any change or any results or any difference in their life. This is for those who are feeling disconnected from the results that they want. And I'm here to let you know that that shift starts internally. Let's talk about the power of consistency and discipline, and how the micro changes that you make in your life ultimately lead to macro changes in your life. The small decisions that you make today lead to the bigger things that you receive tomorrow. The smaller actions that you take today lead to the bigger change that happens in your life tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. So this requires showing up. This requires showing up when it's hard, when it's not glamorous. This requires consistency that isn't always praised, that isn't always worshiped. This requires consistency that is unwavering. It requires a level of discipline to show up for yourself the same way every single day. To show up for your mind and the things that you want every single day. And recognizing what those things are that you desire. And as you wake up every day, making a conscious decision to master your mind in those things every single day. If you are focusing on becoming a better version of yourself, but you have negative things to say every single morning, how are you pouring into this better version of yourself? And what would it look like for you to pour positivity into yourself every single morning? What would it look like for you to start your day with a positive intention, a compliment towards yourself, an affirmation of how your day is going to go? And then what would it look like to notice the small little things that make your life so beautiful? Just as much as we can focus on the things that are going wrong or the things that we're not happy about or the things that are unpleasing to us, we can focus on the things that we love, the things that bring us joy, the things that bring us fulfillment, the small moments of gratitude throughout our day. So finding alignment through this consistent action, through this consistency of positive intent, positive regard, through this consistency of blessings and abundance and positive affirmations upon your life. Being consistent doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect. Being consistent doesn't mean that the second that you make this choice, your life is going to instantly change. But being consistent means that your intent doesn't change from day to day to day to day. You know that every single day you are actively working on your mind and you are actively mastering your mind and the things that you believe to be true about yourself, the things that you believe to be true about your circumstances, the things that you believe to be true about the things that you desire. Take a minute to ask yourself, where am I waiting for motivation when really I need discipline? It's easy when you have these motivating factors behind you, these things driving you. But what about the days that you don't have these things behind you? What about the days that it's hard to take control of your mind? How do you show up on those days? And those days are the most important days. Those days are the days that you overcome that little hump, that little challenge just a little bit more. And as you do this, you are sharpening yourself. You're developing these tools. You're strengthening. You're growing. And then the next time that you have this encounter, it becomes a little bit easier. A little bit easier. For those of you who are avid gym goers, this term will absolutely resonate with you. But it's about progressively overloading your mind. How do you gently, consistently, steadily progress your mind and progress the way that you think about your life, the way that you desire to show up for you? As you continue to master your mind, recognizing that you have to take ownership over your outcomes. Your mindset creates your outcomes. So if you believe that this, and this, that is what it is. If you have a belief that you're never going to do this and you can't show up like this and you wish you could do this, those are the things that are going to come to fruition. So how do you change your mindset? How do you reframe these thoughts in your mind? You have to release the victim mentality, and you have to reclaim again and again and again the power that your mind has over your life. Your mind will take control of your life if you let it. When you take ownership of your mind, you reclaim your power to the external, to everything, to the outcomes, to your future. But you have to actively work toward this. You have to reframe your thoughts. With every thought that comes up, recognize how that thought is pouring into your life. We have control of these things. We don't necessarily right now maybe have control over the thoughts that do enter our mind, but we have control over what we hold on to, what we give our energy to, what we give our power to. And if there's a thought that comes to our mind that isn't in alignment with the future version of ourselves, that's a thought you don't need to hold on to. That's a thought that you need to reframe and recognize, oh, this thought about me not being good enough, this just came into my head. But no, I absolutely am good enough. I absolutely am talented enough. I absolutely am experienced enough. I absolutely am intelligent enough. But until you believe these things about yourself, you're not going to be able to take control over your mind. And if you find it impossible to believe these things about yourself, what do you need to work on internally or externally to actually believe these things about yourself? What is one thing that you can do every single day that is going to pour into your intelligence, that is going to pour into your wisdom, that is going to pour into who you are? And as you continue developing into this better version of yourself, your positive beliefs and your positive regard about yourself is only going to continue to grow and expand. But if you aren't actively developing yourself and working on yourself, why would you have belief about yourself that you can do more and be more and achieve more? Now, here's the thing. It becomes a slippery slope because regardless of any accolade, you hold value. And finding acceptance with that and coming to terms with that is important. However, you have to be understanding enough that you can always be developing. You can always be growing. You can always be expanding. Don't get comfortable. Don't get content in the, oh, I'm loved exactly as I am, exactly as I should be. Yes, you are, and you always will be. But do you want more? And how do you achieve that more? You know, building this mental awareness takes work. It takes skills. And in order to do this, you have to develop and grow and evolve your self-awareness. This is going to take conversations with yourself. This is going to take self-acknowledgement. Sitting down and taking the time to journal. Sitting down and taking the time to meditate. Taking time to breathe. Focusing on being less reactive and taking time to understand what is going on internally. Recognizing that your mindset is your lens. Your mindset is how you see things. Your mindset is how you see yourself. Your mindset is how you see others. Your mindset is how you see the world. And what a beautiful thing to be able to shift and transform and evolve that and change that every single day. What you put out, what you decide to see, echoes. So, do you want to echo greatness upon your life? Why wouldn't you want to echo greatness upon your life? But so many people get stuck in the beliefs of negativity, in the beliefs of mediocrity, in the belief of I'm stuck. And the reality is you are only stuck if you believe you're stuck. But guess what? If you change your mindset to I am somebody who always gets myself out, pulls myself out, gets unstuck, figures out how to move forward, figures a way out of any unwanted circumstance, then you are forever going to be that person who always gets yourself out of the unwanted circumstances. Your mind acts as a filter. It determines how you perceive, interpret, and respond to life. You know, a perfect example is thinking about two different people being in the same situation. And one person, all they can see is, this is a waste of my time. What am I doing here? This is awful. I'm stuck. I don't want to do this, but here I am stuck doing this. And then the perspective of the other person is, wow, this is challenging, but how do I move past this? I'm so grateful that I am having this opportunity to learn and grow and evolve. I can't wait to see the version of myself that comes out of this specific situation. And the difference between the two people is that person number one desires to stay stuck in the same place, whether they know it or not, consciously or subconsciously. And person number two is growth-oriented and is forever and continuously evolving and mastering their mind. You know, your nervous system plays such a huge part in the connection that you have with your mind. Your thoughts can either regulate or dysregulate your nervous system. And in these moments where your thoughts are dysregulating your nervous system, it's a clear sign that that is a point of contention. That is a trigger point, and that is a point that you need to work on and grow and evolve and change your mind from. Your body is always going to tell you. So when your mind starts telling you things so much so that you feel it in your body, coming out in a form of anxiety or stress or fear or worry, it's a perfect signal from your body to your mind to change what is going on in your mind. Take a minute to ask yourself, what assumptions am I living by that are shaping or creating my reality? And as you answer this, likely both positive and negative things are going to come up. How do you reframe the unwanted things that are showing up in your life? How do you unframe the unwanted things that you are actively creating in your life? I want to take a minute to talk about common mindset blocks that you may experience. One of them being all or nothing thinking, black and white thinking. What if you were open to the possibility of something else? What if you opened your mind to the idea that you don't know all and that there is no one way, no two ways, but a multitude of ways that your life could play out? What if you had faith in that? What if you used your faith to overpower what you have going on in your mind, recognizing that you have understanding, but you don't have a greater understanding than what is meant for you? Start to open your mind. Start to see the possibilities. Start to recognize the possibilities. And when you start to understand that the possibilities are endless, life becomes so exciting because you have no idea what is going to happen or where your life could take you. And what a beautiful thing to have such a profound experience. Another mindset block, which I have absolutely fallen victim to in the past, is fear of failure disguised as procrastination. Why do we procrastinate the things that we love to do, that we want to do, that we desire and aspire to do? Out of fear of failure. But understanding this, the only way to grow, the only way to experience success is through failure. How many times do you have to fail in order to experience success? Nobody knows. But if you don't ever fail, you're never going to get to the point of success that you desire. So stop putting it off and recognize that every moment that you are putting yourself out, every moment that you are doing something that you are afraid of, you're changing, you're growing, you're evolving, and you are sharpening and strengthening your tool set. Another thing to think about is getting stuck in a comparison loop. And this is such a common theme, especially with the rise of social media, the availability of access to any and everybody. Your life is your life. Your life is not the person next to you. It's not the however many people that you follow on social media. Your life is your life. And if you don't start treating it as that, you are going to create a life that is inauthentic to you. Stop comparing yourself. The only person that you should be comparing yourself to is the person that you were yesterday. Because if you are not actively getting better every single day, what else matters? So how do we break these mindset blocks? You have to rewrite your story. You have to reframe. You have to decide actively to turn the page and change your story. Recognize that every single day it's progress over perfection. Using your affirmations and using your affirmations in a way that you believe the things that you are affirming to yourself. If you do not believe your affirmations are not in alignment with you. Manifesting and creating the life of your dreams isn't about writing down all of the things that you want. It's about believing that you are capable of having all of these things. And until you deeply believe these things in your core, it's going to be incredibly difficult to manifest them. Changing the script in your mind, changing the things that you tell yourself, changing the way that you speak to yourself, changing the way that you speak about yourself, changing the way that you allow others to speak about you, and using your voice in that sense. If somebody says something about you in conversation to your face, and it is not true and you don't believe it to be true, one of the most powerful things that you can do is to correct them and say, you know what? Actually, this, and this. Because then their beliefs about you are not projected onto you. And you are taking ownership and you are taking action and you are taking control of not only the things that you believe about yourself, but the things that others believe about you. And it's not about what others believe about you, but when somebody actively tells you that they have a belief about you that is untrue, you can absolutely let them know, that's not who I am. That's not who I desire to be. And let me show you. Your input creates your output. What are you putting into your mind? What are you putting into your body? How are you pouring into yourself? And what is in alignment with your trajectory of growth? And what is not? What are the things that are fueling and feeding your mind in a positive regard? And what are the things that are not? And having conscious awareness of this every single day. Making conscious decisions to either allow these things to continue or to stop putting these things into your mind. To only allow things that are beneficial for your growth into your mind, into your body, into your spirit. Don't expect an empowered outcome if you are feeding yourself disempowered energy. And then recognizing that as you continue to change your mindset, you also have to change your action. Your thoughts alone aren't enough. You have to transmute these thoughts into action. Your body reinforces the beliefs that you choose. So choose these beliefs wisely and then act upon them. Allow your body to get to know these beliefs. Allow yourself to embody fully, physically, these beliefs. Realigning through your mindset daily. Your mindset isn't something that once you master, you've mastered it. Your mindset is a daily choice. Remind yourself every single day. Ask yourself every single day, who am I becoming? And what are the qualities, the characteristics, the mannerisms, the thoughts that are in alignment with those things? And as we close out this episode, I want to leave you with a journal prompt. If my mindset is the architect of my life, what am I currently building? Take time to ask yourself and really be honest and truthful with yourself about what you are presently building. And then recognize that you can change what you're building. You can pivot, you can shift, you can always change the way that you want to see yourself grow and evolve. I am sending you so much love and light this week. Have a beautiful week.